1. Trump would start a nuclear war. Trump starting a nuclear war was a top fear, despite the candidate running on an anti-war platform and declaring that he would be the last to use nuclear weapons. The fear stemmed from attacks on Trump's temperament and that he has not forsworn using nuclear weapons in an initial strike, which his predecessor did not do either. 2. Trump would start World War III. Sister to the Trump will start nuclear war fear was the Trump is going to start World War III fear, despite his anti-war leanings and no clarifications as to what that would look like, or why it would happen. For example, in a now-deleted tweet, businessman Mark Cuban tweeted, "Trump's ignorance of the world could get us into a World War III. The stock market would crash if Trump won." Liberal economist Paul Krugman predicted Trump's win would cause a permanent global recession that the world would never recover from, based on a regime that will be ignorant of economic policy. "So we are very probably looking at a global recession, with no end in sight," he wrote in an op-ed on election night. Not only has a recession not happened, but U.S. gross domestic product growth is up from last year, and so is the world's. Others similarly predicted that the U.S. economy would tank and millions of jobs would be lost, but unemployment is at its lowest in 17 years. 4. Women's rights would be rolled back decades. Trump haters predicted he would set women's rights back decades, but upon taking office, he had appointed a number of women to top national security positions, as reported by Breitbart News. While the Clinton campaign argued that voting for her would be an advancement of women's rights, a sizable number of women, 42%, voted for Trump. There's no evidence of women's rights being rolled back decades. Ironically, America has learned that several figures close to Hillary and the Democratic Party, including Democratic megadonor Harvey Weinstein, have been assaulting women for decades, oftentimes an open secret. 5. Civilization would end. Some folks predicted the end of the world, or at least, civilization. British columnist for The Guardian, Jonathan Freedland predicted that Trump's victory would mean a new age of endarkenment. It sounds extreme, it sounds far-fetched. But that's because we assume that stability, even the civilized order, are somehow the natural way of things, almost impossible to upend. But that's not how it is. Civilization is frail, he wrote. 6. Celebrities would leave the U.S. Dozens of celebrities vowed to leave the country en masse if Trump won. Lena Dunham, creator of HBO's Girls and Clinton supporter at the time, said, "I know a lot of people have been threatening to do this, but I really will. I know a lovely place in Vancouver." Barbara Streisand said she would move to Australia, and Cher tweeted that if Trump won, "I'm moving to Jupiter." Clearly this has not happened.